Conversations with developers, what's the explanation? How can a less capable machine outperform the more powerful one?
What is you talking about, PuertoRock? The PS5 is just as capable as the Xbox Series X. I would go as far to say that the differences are quite negligible, but of course, being a fanboy, you gotta tout about how Sea of Thieves runs better or how the game has more grass foliage in regards to its competitor, even though the version that you got on PlayStation is a new build of the game. So what? You got one good version here and you got one good version there. And you want to sit there and talk about, I don't understand how Microsoft's touting how they got the most powerful console, but yet the PS5 still has some versions that are better than it. And the Xbox has versions that are better than yours. Why does this matter? Because to be honest with you, if you was actually out here gaming, you wouldn't even care, bro. Like when somebody told me that RoboCop ran better on Xbox, I still continue to play the game on the PS5 version. I don't care because I was too busy enjoying the game while you people out here texting on Twitter every single day. You are the definition of a fake gamer, and to be honest with you, that's all Digital Foundry sees in you. All they doing is milking you fanboys just so you can feel that your console's more superior, just for these PC Master Race dudes to sit there and tell you and humble every single one of you that your hardware is a piece of garbage. Y'all want to sit there and talk about how you got 4K. It's so embarrassing that Sony had to remove 8K out of the box. Speaking about false advertisement, everybody, right? How about that 4K 120 frames that we still waiting for to this day? And the only time you even get a remote promise of it, if it's a remaster or a game that's rebuilt from the ground up. Man, you PlayStation ponies ain't nothing but a joke. But you know what? I'm going to hit you guys with something, just like you did with Xbox dudes back during the Xbox One days. Gears of War E-Day. How many frames per second? That's on PlayStation 5. How about South of Midnight, Indiana Jones, Perfect Dark? Can you tell me what frames per second that those games run on the PS5? Oh, that's right. 0 frames per second because you people ain't getting these games. Oh, exactly. You just got bodied in your own argument because at the end of the day, it's about the quality of games that you're going to play. The funny thing is, the GameCube was more powerful than the PS2, but the PS2 still had better versions. The N64 was more powerful than the PS1, but the PS1 still had better versions. So why does this matter? Like, if you've been gaming for as long as you say you've been having, you would understand that this has always happened in some form of degree. The PS3 was more powerful than the 360, and the 360, it's so funny. It's like the weakest console gets the better running games. The 360 had better versions than the PS3. And? Like, is this what we doing, man? Like, come on, bro. Let's get back to playing video games.
As seen recently in our Elden Ring Shadow of Erdtree coverage,
which happens to be a PS4 game, but go ahead.
The frame rate differences in favor of PlayStation 5 is surprising, bearing in mind it's apparently the less capable machine.
What do you mean less capable? The fact that this game runs on PS4 is more than capable enough to have some improvements on the PS5. But that doesn't make sense. The Xbox should have the better version because Microsoft did not make the game. Then you have to talk to these studios. At the end of the day, like I said, Gears of War E-Day is 0 frames per second on PlayStation. So I don't know what you people are going to do. You guys can port bag. You guys can wait in eternity to play these games. But as of right now, there's 0 frames per second on the PS5, which happens to have no game. So I don't care about these so-called better versions that you got because these versions are just as good on Xbox. You guys been blaming the Series S. You've been blaming all these other platforms, but ain't nobody blaming these low-end PCs where they're building these games from. Like, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just trying to keep it real here. But of course, these PlayStation ponies going to run with the fact that, and keyword, some games. They can't sit there and say all because as soon as you say all, you know you already lost the argument. That's like me making a video talking about how these Xbox versions run better than the PS. Most people are not going to care. Who cares about stuff like that? For real? Like, unless the PS5 version is running at 200 frames per second and the Xbox is at 60, then maybe. But even then, most of you people play at a cap 60 anyway. So I'm confused. I really don't understand as to why you people do this. But go ahead. I mean, I guess you got a grown man system that you stand behind and you back. I mean,
theories over the years, such as how the Xbox X split memory set up 500 gigabytes of bandwidth on fast memory and 336 gigabytes on slow memory may be impacting performance.
Y'all making it seem like the Xbox version is unplayable. You know, the PS5 version is overpowering it. You know, I mean, dude, the differences are negligible. Like, there's been times I've had both versions, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X version. And to be honest, I played the version that was superior on the Xbox. And I'm like, yo, there's really not that much of a difference, man. You got a nice, good quality TV. There goes your visuals and fidelity. Sometimes I don't even think it's the hardware. Sometimes I think it's the TV that you got. For real. Oh, look at this. We got HDR, auto HDR. I just put the contrast up, man. You people falling for these gimmicks, man. And that's why these companies love you fanboys, because they can continue to make money off you idiots.
The number one reason we heard from developers concerned the nature of Sony's development environment. More than one key AAA developer tells us that the PlayStation GPU compiler is significantly more efficient than...
And what triple games have you had? Because you haven't had a AAA game in months. Helldivers 2 is AA. Stellar Blade, AA. So when you want to sit there and talk about AAA games, what AAA games are you talking about? Because Sony hasn't dropped a AAA game since. What you talking about? Oh, games, you got a point. In the ones that did, which happened to be Forspoken and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And what happened with that? Your PlayStation ponies didn't support the game, did you? Exactly. Because how you going to sit there and talk about how these AAA developers are talk about how the PS5's better when Sony hasn't even released a AAA game themselves?
It's also alternative, meaning that there's better utilization of the graphics hardware.
By who?
In general, we understand.
See, the funny thing is, man, you Sony dudes think you smart, man. Okay, Sony's using AA games, last generation games to push this argument. And this is something that I've been saying for quite some time. And you're not going to fool a person that knows a lot about the gaming community. You're not going to push some AA low budget games and act like they're AAAs just because you can hit 60 FPS in 4K. I'm not that stupid, bro. That's why when games got a little bit more demanding, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which happens to run at Unreal Engine 4, guys, Unreal Engine 4, an engine that was developed for the PS4, and the game's still struggling. Ain't nobody want to hear it from you fanboys, man. Because to be honest with you, you PlayStation fanboys haven't been playing nothing next generation. Let's go.
The lower level API access afforded to PlayStation development means game makers get more from the hardware. The second most common explanation we receive from developers concerned the nature of the GPU itself. Mark Cerny himself discussed...
And this is what happens when console gamers... You know PC gamers are laughing at you guys, right? This is what happens when console gamers just don't sit back and enjoy gaming, man. You guys talk more about the hardware than the software that you people playing, man. You know what I mean? Like, these are the same dweebs that came from the PlayStation 1, well, I would assume, PS1 and PS2, having the lowest end hardware, worst versions of Marvel vs. Capcom games, and now you out here acting like you know you Mr. quote-unquote superior. Microsoft has been dominating you in superior hardware. Xbox original as well as the Xbox 360, even though the 360 was weaker, right, due to Sony's cell processor because they didn't know what to do with it. But I will say, when Sony had it with their own exclusive games, you could see somewhat of a difference, and they definitely did look better in a lot of cases than what Microsoft had. But man, Gears of War 3, I don't know, man. Microsoft, I guess you could call that wizardry. Where was these topics then? Where was these topics about how the 360 is a lower powerful console, the least powerful console, but yet still ran better versions than the PS3? Where were these topics then? It seems like you guys are just trying to take away the hype and excitement because you guys have this nostalgia trip of where you grew up playing PlayStation, and that's all you people know. But at the end of the day, Microsoft's killing it because, like I said before, Perfect Dark. What is the frames per second on that, PuertoRock, on PlayStation? What's the frame rate and performance and the resolution on PlayStation? Oh no, it's just a big old black screen. Remember when they used to do that? The Xbox dudes, they used to just put a black screen. Oh, Uncharted 4 on Xbox and put a black screen. Oh yeah, we doing that now. Gears of War E-Day. What's the resolution and frame rate on that on PlayStation 5? Zero resolution, 0 frames per second. There you go. Because at the end of the day, Xbox got the games, and that's what it's all about, baby. That's something you PlayStation pony. You people are so hurt. That's all you people could hold on. Oh, we got Wukong, we got third party. You know, we got a little bit better on some games. But you don't want to talk about some of the games that run better on Xbox Series X. That's what makes you a fanboy. I'm out here saying, I'm not even disagreeing with you. PS5 does have better versions than Xbox Series X. If that's what Elden Ring is, so what? All I'm sitting there telling you is that it's negligible. It's not that much of a difference. Let me be an Xbox fanboy and bring up every Xbox version that runs better than the PS5 version. It doesn't make a difference. Nobody cares. Like, you feel me? That's the type of argument that I'm trying to make. But of course, when you're a fanboy and you're a 49-year-old grown man, probably still living with your parents, because we can clearly tell you ain't got nothing going on in the background. You talk about how you a gamer, but ain't nobody ever seen your gaming collection, PuertoRock. And neither of your friends. Like, I don't want to hear it, man. You a fake wannabe gamer and you don't know nothing about the gaming industry. Plain and simple.
Way back in March 2020 when he revealed the technical specifications of the PlayStation 5. While the console may have fewer compute units than Xbox Series X, 36 versus 52, you still haven't found those GPUs, right, Craig?
The CU, correct. I'm still on it.
Oh, the CUs, yeah.
I mean, at this point, just go to PC, man. It's such a shame, man. As a console gamer, it's such a shame to see the console gaming community like this, man, because I know people's like, well, you're not a fanboy game, so I understand, but this is what I gotta see with gaming. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be able to resonate with y'all from the old school, man. Y'all supposed to be from my era, and matter of fact, y'all even older than me, so I'm supposed to kind of look up to you for inspiration, and this is what we see. Now people gotta look at me, even though I'm younger than most of y'all, they gotta look at me for holding down the gaming industry. Because you people are a bad example of why the gaming industry is the way it is. For real. Because y'all sit there and talk about how, we support our exclusive games, and then you got Square telling you that you don't. All you say, all Square wants is a little bit more money, even though their games ain't even sell, man. Like, I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to keep it real. At the end of the day, the PS5 got better versions than the Series X, and then you got the Series X that have better versions than the PS5. But there's one platform that the PS5 can never compete with, which is the PC. So at the end of the day, why are we having this argument? Y'all gonna sit there and tell these PC gamers it don't matter about the hardware, it's about the games. Now it's about the games. Now PC game the PC gaming gods have came from the skies with Game Newell. Stop this nonsense. Just play and enjoy games. It's not about the hardware. It's about the games now. Oh, you couldn't pick on, the PC gaming gods, huh? And they got you PlayStation ponies running for the hills now. Now you want to sit there and talk about the games, man. Yeah, you're right. It is about the games because they got your games too.
Yeah. Don't forget the hidden GPU.
Let's go.
Hidden GPU, right?
Hidden GPU.
Right?
I here making stuff up, man.
The shit that happened. But anyway, so 36 versus 52. The entire GPU runs faster, meaning that certain tasks will complete faster, better suiting certain game engine designs. The extent of this advantage was always an unknown as PS5 operates with a...
Let's skip some of this fluff.
Paper specs doesn't mean anything until the real world performance and how it's configured. Mark Cerny did even tell us that T-flops is not a good number to judge that, right? There's so many factors.
So like I said, both of these platforms are about the same. So, okay, the PS5 get better versions, the Xbox get better versions. So what? So what? We all playing games. Well, I don't know what you're playing on PlayStation, but, an Xbox side of the community, we got games to look forward to. Because Perfect Dark, South of Midnight, Indiana Jones, Blade are 0 frames per second on PlayStation 5. I mean, you guys can go on your knees and dream and pray, maybe go on that website where you can port beg, just like what you said with PC gamers, to get some of these games on your PlayStation 5. But guess what? People on Xbox are already going to be enjoying these games already, while you guys out here waiting for months or years, baby, to play some Xbox games, hoping they go out of business just so you can play their games. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a real gamer, y'all. And this is why the gaming community is the way it is, and this is why the Dreamcast did not succeed, because of you fanboys. Because it's not about the high quality games. You people would rather see these companies go under than to go out there and support these companies through your console brethren. And this is why PC gaming has taken over, because these console manufacturers and these people that run these Xbox, they know that. They know you PS5 dweebs ain't going to upgrade to a Series X to play any of their games, because you don't understand that type of behavior helps the gaming industry. Me going out there picking up a PS5 and an Xbox Series X as well as a Nintendo Switch helps the console gaming industry. It helps keep these consoles afloat. But when you're sitting there playing only on PS5 and you're only playing on Series X, that hurts the gaming industry. Then you got Microsoft thinking, hey, maybe we should put our games on PlayStation. Maybe we should put our games on PC. Sony's doing the same thing. Oh, we see that these PlayStation ponies don't want to. All right, we got to put these games on PC now. It's hurting the industry. It's so funny that you guys had the PC gaming community gatekeeped, but now all of a sudden you open the floodgates and now they out here coming and taking Xbox and PlayStation games. Next one is going to be Nintendo. All you fanboys did was help build up PC gaming because you guys are all losing access to your games. So at the end of the day, all you really can do is enjoy them. So what? Who cares?
That is considered, right? Bottlenecks and compilers and
that's all. So what are you talking about? Bottlenecks? Hold on, I'm gonna stop you right there, brother. Bottlenecks. That's all Sony ever did. Bottlenecks. PS1 bottleneck. PS2 bottleneck. PS3 most definitely a bottleneck. You don't like games to come on. You can't say the PS1 was a bottleneck. That's why most companies want to. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that. It wasn't really a bottleneck per se, but it was very low-end hardware compared to what Sega was doing with the Saturn. The Saturn was very capable, but like I said, they couldn't really get the power out of it. Same thing with the N64, with the cartridges. I guess you could say that was a bottleneck, because if they went with CDs, but Shigeru Miyamoto wanted a open world, because, PS1 had a lot of loading screens. They wanted an open, realized world with no loading screens. And the only way at the time that Nintendo could have done that was through a cartridge system, which, to be honest with you, was Mario 64, to me, felt like a real next generation game. That was a real 3D game. Sony was throwing out games like Crash Bandicoot, which was like a plane. It was 3D, but it was all in a plane. Like, it wasn't really 3D. Mario 64 really felt 3D. I remember seeing my dad, he was like, his jaw dropped. He was like, whoa, I can't believe like the freedom and the jumps and the way he was. That's when Nintendo was the kings of gaming. I don't know what happened with them. Because now they're just reusing the same tropes, man. Their games just don't have that same magical feel that they once used to. But anyways, back to Sony. So, okay. So what is the argument? Like, I mean, you got this dude looking like George Foreman. I don't know what y'all doing here.
And Optimus Cole was trying to tell us, like, the specs don't matter, because once you try to bring it out to real world, now you have to look at developer talent, the compilers, and all that other stuff, the tools and all that stuff.
So why are you doing it now?
Because when all of that is synced and synergized, that's where you'll get your well.
Because the PS3, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, had some pretty bad versions to a lot of the games that Microsoft had with the original Xbox and the 360. The PS2 had some of the worst versions of games. I mean, Resident Evil 4, guys, on the PS2 was absolute garbage. Okay, let's not cap here. The game was playable on the game. I mean, the PS2 version was still good. I played it there too. But I'm saying it was night and day. Okay, so when we're sitting there talking about these comparisons about how the PS5 version is better than the Xbox when it's just a grass pile or maybe a few raindrops, I'm going to have to call you guys out on that. Or maybe a few frames. I'm going to have to call you out on that because I don't think real gamers would do that. Now, if we're talking about a game that's capped on 60, on PlayStation, and Xbox is dipping like below 20 and it's like running like an N64 game, then I could understand when you're coming with these arguments, but that's not what's going on here. Elden Ring probably got a little bit more crisp, a little bit more, I don't know, because it's just something I don't care, something you probably couldn't even tell if you just had a nice TV to begin with. But okay, if this is the argument y'all want to use, that's the argument that you're using. But to be honest with you, as a real gamer, ain't none of this matter to me.
Console and stuff like that, and people did not want to listen. They were not trying to hear that. They were using paper specs as the end all be all, and not the actual final product that's put together and see how it performs together, right? Craig, we'll start off with you.
A GPU and CPU talk to each other, and how fast the PS5 is clocked. So it was just a matter of a time. It didn't.
And what examples are we using, man? Because we can't use I'm tired of it. Stop using cross generation games. Stop using PS3 remasters and remakes to push this argument. Like you guys still fail to impress me as to where the PS5 is completely dog walking the Xbox Series X. I mean, maybe you guys could use a few third-party examples, but hey, who's to say? They probably make these games with PS4 in mind. Maybe. You know, the PS4 did have a very big following, so it would make sense as to why, if you notice, a lot of these PS4 games are running better on PS5 than the Xbox equivalent. Oh, Gamester, you might have came up with some. Hey, that might be it. That might be it. I might have actually just, you need Digital Foundry, and man, more like digital fraudery. I might have broke it down for you, because a lot of people didn't really get the Xbox One. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all were blaming everything else, but I broke it down to you right there. PS4, and if you notice, the versions, a lot of the versions, think about it. Now, I'm going to really break this down. RoboCop, Unreal Engine 5 game, runs better on the Series X, right? I know I keep using that example. A lot of Unreal Engine 5 games run better on Series X. Now, when he's talking about the engine, the tools, and all that, whatever have you. Okay, fine. Now we're sitting there talking about games like Elden Ring, right? With the DLC he's bringing up, that's still a PS4 game. The Elden Ring DLC, PS4 version, PS5 version, runs better than the Xbox. So it seems like the PS4 versions that are enhanced with the PS5 run better than what you're getting with the Xbox. So that is very interesting, but I noticed, but none of them are next gen. Have you noticed that? None of the games that they're talking about are next gen. Sea of Thieves, another example, old gen. So Sony's running old gen games better on the PS5 than what Microsoft's doing, but Microsoft is running better engine, Unreal Engine 5. They're running better, more demanding. It's just very weird in this but it's like, it doesn't really matter though, guys. It doesn't really matter. I can sit there, brainstorm, overthink this as long as y'all want, but it don't matter in the end of in the grand scheme of things. Who cares? Who cares?
Shocked me because I had to build my computer on a budget, and I was taught by the PC community what parts to look for. They're going to give me the best performance. So when I saw,
and that's your problem. Stop listening to these PC dummies. I've had PC dummies tell me the same thing. Why do you play on console? I sit there and say, I don't care. As long as physical media is still here, even though I already see the writing on the wall, I'm going to continue to play on console. I don't care. I have a lot of people that play on PC that follow my channel. They know. I keep things here realistic, man. I'm here to play and enjoy games. I don't care if I can run 500 frames on Final Fantasy or whatever game they want to talk about. I care about what I'm getting out of these platforms, which happens to be quality games. Sony is not offering that to me. Xbox is. What, you guys are going to get mad because I'm looking forward to playing more Xbox games than PlayStation? It wasn't like that during the PS2, but then I failed to realize that a lot of games I liked on PS2 were third party. So there you go. There's your answer.
They did with the PS5. I'm like, oh, well, the 10T flops. That's all those developers needed. That's with overhead. Because Cerny said years ago, you only need 7.4 teraflops to do 4K.
That's wrong. See, this is why you people should. What are you talking about? 4K and what? 4K to run an indie game? Or 4K to run some next generation games? Because that's what Sony promised on that box. Matter of fact, whatever your name is, Craig, looking like George Foreman, let's talk about the fact that PlayStation can't even achieve 4K 60 on PS4 games. Games that have been developed for the PS4, which happens to be low-end hardware, pushed to the PS5 with enhancements, and those games can't even run 4K 60. They can't. Matter of fact, Microsoft has had a better job advertising and promoting their console. Sea of Thieves, 4K 120. Forza, 4K, Halo Infinite, 4K 120. Multiplayer, Gears of War 5, 4K 120. Microsoft has done a better job. And see, hold on. But see, this is where I'm confused, though. Because the few examples that you people are talking about happen to be third party, and a lot of those companies happen to be Japanese-centric. I still think there's a little bit bias with that in regards to how they go about business and putting their games on American platforms. But like I said, that's for another argument. But Microsoft has actually have 4K 120 on a lot of their games. Legit, if we're talking about Xbox One titles, no $60, $70 price tag for free. Killer Instinct, 4K 120. Microsoft has more 4K 120 games than y'all, and they actually hit 4K. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't get it, man. Like, if we're going to go by these case-by-case examples, I'm just going to sit there and tell people it doesn't really matter in the end. It doesn't. Because, okay, we want to hold on to the fact that Elden Ring runs a little bit better on the PS5. So what? It still runs good on the Series X, though. It still runs good. Y'all acting like the Series X version, and y'all acting like you're comparing the Nintendo Switch to a PS5. I don't understand how the Nintendo Switch can outbeat the PS5 visuals and perform. Like, this is not what we got going on here, man. These consoles are the same, and the results are reflective of that.
Get 30 frames per second, and that was with the old architecture, and it's just it's a shame that it got to the. But my whole thing, we now know.
Bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. You stuttering. I mean, you brought up one point, and I didn't even hear the one point that you brought up.
What happened? We know they were in a parasitic relationship, with Microsoft. Where is Dealer Gaming at? Where has he been? I mean, if there's something going.
See, the problem is with you people because you're fanboys. You can't win no argument with me because I'm not a fanboy. I'm looking at this realistically. Right? You guys can sit there and poke fun at all these other Xbox frauds in the community, but guess what? I ain't one of them. I've been probably gaming. It's so funny. I've probably been gaming just as long as these dudes, man. I've been gaming since I was 2 years old, bro. 2 years old, bro. Like, I might have stopped. I'm not really into these because I don't really care for this new stuff. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to tell y'all straight up. I don't really care for a lot of this new stuff, man. The passion just ain't there for me, man. But instead of me complaining and doing all this other stuff these 49-year-old grown men are doing, bald head and everything, man, spend time with your kids and your wife, man. Spend time with people that are important to you. It's fine to have these conversations. I've talked to people on Xbox Live all the time, but these conversations don't be like this, man. It's like you guys throw these. There was a dude I talked about. It's like you guys just want to sit there and say stupid stuff to argue with people. Like, I've noticed that. And then you get mad if nobody want to entertain it. I had a guy tell me one time that Starfield, something like it's a JRPG. I'm like, bro, no, it's not, bro. Like, do you understand that? And one of my boys, which happens 100% these games, he's like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Like, you don't even know the history between dark RPG, light RPG. You're not a Western. He don't even understand how Western RPGs became the way they are. My friend does. And you guys just say stupid stuff just so you can get a rise out of people. And guess what? People are not going to tolerate it. We're going to tell you to shut up. We're going to tell you to be quiet. Okay? So that's why you guys feel comfortable on your little platforms, because let's just be honest. If I was on the 60 Frames No Lag podcast, every single one of you ponies are getting bodied. What are you going to come at me with? Well, Xbox. Go ahead, bring up whatever. I got a PlayStation. So whatever you say about Xbox don't matter. Well, Xbox ain't getting this. Xbox ain't getting Wukong. Okay, and if I want to play Wukong, I can play it on PS5. Just like I don't have access to Gears of War, E-Day, South of Midnight, Perfect Dark on my PS5. Where do you think I'm going to play in PuertoRock? On the Xbox. Because the gamer goes where the games go. The gamer don't care about, frames per second. They don't care about that. PC gamers have bro, they really have messed up the landscape of you console gamers, man. And I can tell, bro, every time y'all make these videos, all they doing is they're laughing at you. You guys fell into the trap. You guys fell into this pipe dream of having these consoles feel like they're going to be better than PCs with better hardware. PC gamers knew that. That's why they were making fun of your frames per second and your resolutions. But guess what? They wanted some of them. Not saying all. Some of them wanted your games. And now that they have the option to play in them, now PC gamers, if you notice, they came out of the woodworks. They laughing. Why would anybody want a console? Y'all were talking about Uncharted and God of War and how we can't play it, even though we got better hardware than you. Now we got it, and now we're playing the games with better specs and everything. PC knew this. They knew this for the longest. But you console fanboys, well, I can say PlayStation ones, gave in to the idea. Maybe if we sell into this pipe dream, it's like Adam and Eve. You console fanboys bit the apple. You believe these PC snakes in the community. They played y'all. Y'all were never going to have better hardware than them. They knew that by having you fanboys push for better hardware and fake 4K, fake ray tracing and all that, and that's what you guys was. Because think about it. Console gamers don't even talk about games no more. Y'all like, whoa, snap games. A good point. Have you noticed? They're not talking about games. They're talking about hardware.
My heart goes out to him, but
that's a shame. You console fanboys have became the new PC gamers, and the PC gamers came in on a zip line and stole all your games. And they got them with better frames, and they got them with better resolutions. All the things that you wanted promised on that little PlayStation 5 box, PC gamers have the option of doing. You guys have sold your soul for this pipe dream of a console. It's so sad when you really look at it.
I've been podcasting for close to 6 months.
I hope everything's okay with him. Because
all you do is talk about hardware, bro. Let me fast forward this.
Saw the PS5, PS4.
Oh, here we go. The guy that says I like my life. Oh my Lord, here he comes.
Keep up with
I like my life.
Xbox One.
What is it? I like myself.
we saw this generation, right? The 9 T-flop system with the GCN hybrid.
It's so funny how these console fanboys want to act like they're intelligent, talking about these motherboards and these spec GPUs, CPUs, but these people can't even break down a video game.
It's not full RDNA. It's GCN hybrid RDNA. I'm like,
bruh, GC what? Huh? Did this guy say GMC hybrids? What type of capsules you on, G?
RDNA 1.5. Like what?
Yeah. So I learned PuertoRock. I learned
9 to 5 or 1.5. This man only works at 1.5. What?
Embrace all the shit that they say. I learned to embrace that now.
I'm confused.
That the PS5 games.
He's talking about Embracer games, or huh?
Better looking better.
At 9.2 T-flops.
Yeah.
T-flops. This man's talking about what? Flops. What's a T-flop? What?
They were like, no, it's 10.4.
No. It is 9.2 at G.
Nothing about games. You see this? Nothing about video games. I'm gonna fast forward it. Look,
advantages,
same thing.
And all of this, when it comes to TVs, they know that an LED versus mini LED versus quantum dot OLED.
Mister, I like myself.
Versus
I like myself. That's why I talk like this. I like myself.
I'm curious. But did they actually go into the science of why? No. Did they approach Mark Sony and be like, hey, actually, can you explain this variable?
This guy sounded like he's supposed to be some form of console science teacher, and this man don't even know what he's talking about, bro. It's like this video that I seen with this guy that was teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and these two dudes came in, and they're like, bro, you don't even know real Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got a black... Yo, I think I gotta share that video, man. I should probably put the video on here. It's funny, man. These two guys come in here exposing him. He's like, yo, I want to roll. You want me to roll with low rank? I don't roll with low rank. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black belt. You low inferior rank. Thank you for coming to my gym. Thank you. You're fake. Thank you for coming to my gym. You're fake Brazilian. Thank you for coming to my gym. He looked like the same dude too.
Talk to us as if we
Yo, y'all gotta tell me if y'all seen that video, man. That video is funny.
So that we can understand.
The only thing is that this guy, Mr. Like Myself, he got a black belt. It's not that he got a black belt in console, I don't even know what to say. Console science. He's a black man with a belt.
Why it hasn't proven.
He got a PhD in console gaming history. He's a black man with a belt. That's it.
Be an issue.
He's not a black belt in gaming. He white. He white. He white.
That's exactly what they are. Okay? Which, by the way, in case you guys are like, what
every time this dude talks, man, my brain is fried, bro. Like, literally, I hear sizzling going on in my head, man. Like, what? Like, are y'all supposed to hurt people with these videos? Like, for real, my brain is sizzling. Like, I got 2 fried eggs in there.
This yellow journalism, I had to look it up, right? But essentially, it means that you are referring to sensationalistic, Jesus Christ, salacious and sometimes slanted stories and newspapers.
I bet this guy thinks he's so smart, man. He sound like an African doctor. You know what I mean? I fix your amputated arm because I like myself. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna get me two African branches and leaves and put it around your arm. Sir, that's not gonna. Don't worry. It's going to work. It's going to work. I got a PhD in console gaming history. Let me wrap up this man's arm because I like myself. You see, I like myself. I have 10 wives because I like myself.
Truth. That is exactly what they are.
This man, bro, for real, this man's a whole Boondocks character, man.
Square Enix. Now we're like, you know,
yeah, bro. You know what, man? I'm done, bro. You know what I mean? You guys can like yourself. Apparently, you guys don't like yourself that much if you dedicated 2 to 3 hours of your life and when you could have been spending that with your wife. But hey, anyways, each their own. Take care, guys. Peace out.